Welcome back to the woods of Maine, everybody. Today we have a special edition. Hurricane Lee actually managed to make its way to New England. So I'm gonna come out here and look for some damage. I wanted to walk the woods right behind where I reside and kind of see what was different, what's fallen, what do the woods look like after a hurricane. We had 25-30 miles per hour winds yesterday. There were some large branches that broke around my house, so I wanted to come out here, be very safe about it. There's no wind right now, there's no cracking, no alarming noises going on, but I'm going to be very careful and mindful of that and look for some mushrooms and see what else I can find out here. I immediately want to point out one of the most predominant mushrooms I'm seeing out here. And if you're hungry, this would be a great situation to be in. I would say that there are pounds and pounds of hedgehog sweet tooth mushrooms out here right now. I am seeing these bad boys all over the place. And these are hand size. These are big pieces. I'll show you how to identify one in a second. But I just wanted to show off that there's just more. There's trails of these things all over the place. And this is definitely one of those where it's not a bad thing. So let me just find one that is a little on its way out. These guys have definitely lived the majority of their lives, and I can pull them to show you guys why they're called hedgehogs. So there it is. Look at all those spines at the bottom. There are not a lot of dangerous lookalikes, so this is considered a good starter edible mushroom. I am still a beginner in the world of mushroom picking and mycology. Oh, look at that. But this is one of those where if you can confidently lock down the information and what you're looking for, you could actually pick and eat this guy. I have sauteed this guy before. Not a bad meaty mushroom. I actually don't really love eating mushrooms that much. There's only a couple that I like. But this is one of them. He's very meaty, very tasty. Anyways, gonna keep looking around. So there are clear signs that Hurricane Lee came through here. Quite a lot of trees down that were not down on my last walk. There's one right there. There's one on the path straight ahead. As you can see, trees, branches, all over the place. It's really cool to see. We don't often have those gusty winds out here, so I'm really interested today to see the extent of what's fallen. So stay tuned. Just spotted a little guy on the side of the path here I wanted to quickly talk about. So this looks like a false death cap. It's got kind of an off-white appearance at the very top. You can usually tell it's got a slightly yellow hue to it compared to the stem typically. But one of the best ways I can identify this mushroom, give me 1 second, I'm gonna pull him. Trying to get the egg too, but hard to, oh, okay, well, little one. Little egg down here, as amanitas will have. Give you a good look at him. But off camera, I'm gonna smell him real quick. If you smell right under the gills, it actually smells like a raw potato. And that is a identifier for one of these mushrooms a lot of the time. Doesn't always smell like that potato, but most of the time when I pick it up and smell the bottom, it truly smells like a raw potato. This is not a mushroom you're gonna be picking and eating. I do believe these are actually edible, but they look way too close to destroying angels and death caps themselves. So definitely do not pick and eat that mushroom. Just wanted to show it off real quick. Got a beautiful sky today. You would never know there was a hurricane coming through here yesterday. The sky was like all shades of orange and purples and crazy stuff. But that is over now. So let's see what's going on out here. Tons of new huge branches fallen. This is right on the path. That would hurt to hit your head. No joke. Don't want to be walking out here whenever there's high winds. But just look at all this stuff on the ground. You can check back at some of my old videos, some recent, just a week or two ago, and there is not anywhere near as much of this stuff. So tons of fallen branches, small trees, stuff like that. I'll continue to keep you guys updated. All right, amongst the damage, I found a pretty cool looking mushroom. I was seeing this a month ago, but nowhere near these size. I believe these are crimson wax caps, but again, I'm still beginner learning this stuff. Really pretty looking mushroom. I was previously seeing them last month about, let's see, that size. Look like a little red bell pepper sticking out of the ground. But these are way bigger. Really cool mushroom. Almost looks like a tomato on top. Beautiful. Definitely a fresh fall from the storm right here. There's the branch going all the way this way. I'm walking this way just to show you even more. Look at that. Sorry I got a glare. The sun's going right through the trees here. But check out all that. Yeah, it'd be scary walking out here. Make sure you guys never walk out in the forest when it's really windy. Look, another one right there. Oh, another one to my right. And again, some of these were out here, but the majority weren't. Gonna keep going on my walk. Still have some cool mushrooms out here among the debris. So I spotted these guys. I like to call them the forbidden Oreos for some reason. The top on them reminds me of, oh, just some tasty Oreo pieces. Sorry, anyways, I think these are a type of grisette amanita. Grisettes lack that skirt that you can see on a lot of these. I'm not going to dig him up today, but look at that defined margin. Nice Oreo flakes on top. Oh, delicious. And there should be a bulb down there. I'm not going to dig him up again. When I say bulb, I do mean the egg sac that this thing grows from. Got 2 of them. All right, so this was definitely not out here on my last walk. Again, I'm just right off my normal path. You are checking this out live with me. I haven't looked yet. Man, so where did this come from? This thing's huge. Just huge pieces of wood. Of course, these are all, you know, for the most part, dead trees that were on their way out, and this is just the forest kind of cleaning up and starting over, but it's still pretty cool to see. Yeah, so that wood was, you know, rotting. That's why it came down so easily. Maybe it was from there? Oh, interesting. Got a really pretty clearing here. Luckily nothing fell in the path, but as you can see there are tons of new giant logs falling from the sky. Gonna keep going this way. Definitely a ton of old growth that needed to come down during that storm. A lot of stuff like this. Large branches, large old trees that kind of needed to get cleaned up. As you can see along the path, it's quite a common sight here. You know, this guy just came down. This doesn't look familiar to me. You can see in the distance another one falling back there. Another one straight ahead. But not too many fresh living trees that have like a nice healthy trunk on them. It's mostly stuff like this. But I still find it pretty interesting because we don't really have those high winds come through here that often. Continuing to see just tons of branches all over the place. Unreal. It's going to be much harder to walk through the woods themselves now without constantly tripping over all that stuff that just fell down. So that's going to be a pain. Luckily this trail, nothing really fell on it for now. But just tons along the sides. Something different here that must be coming into season. You're going to see some kind of off-white small mushrooms growing at the base of this tree. Going to pull one that is a bit more mature. So I do believe these are snowy wax caps. You can see why they have their name. They just have a very basic snowy off-white color. Look at those gills, very interesting. So really cool. These must be starting to go in season now that it's starting to cool down. Awesome. Really seeing a ton of damage from the hurricane here. But I wanted to show off these guys. Some type of tree rotting fungus. They just keep going. They look like little shells. All the way up. Quite cool. So mushrooms like these tend to either be parasites on trees or feed off of trees that are dying, or they break them down after they are a dead tree. So they do serve purposes. Sometimes they're parasites, sometimes they're decomposers. Some more really large logs that fell during the storm. I am now alongside a creek that forms during heavy rain. It's kind of straight ahead. There's a large tree that fell not during the storm but pretty recently. The creek's just right ahead here. Still out here looking for damage after that hurricane. Just wanted to kind of show off the little creek area that forms during heavy rain. Sorry if I'm about to get some camera glare here. I find it really pretty out here. I never find that many mushrooms growing out here. I don't know if it's too damp or if it's because a lot of these trees are dead. But I think it's cool nonetheless. So thanks for hanging out with me so far. Coming up on one of my favorites as far as color goes. Let me drop down here. Look at this purple coral. I think these guys are so cool. Color's beautiful. This one's probably on its way out a little bit. Well, if I find a bigger one, I'll show you guys, but regardless, these are tiny but still have beautiful colors on them. Let me just back up and show you just how small they are. Pretty cool though to see that on the forest floor. Alright, I am finishing up my hurricane damage patrol for the day. It's about 10 o'clock, been out here for 2 hours or so. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to see you next time.